Hello, Algebra 1 students for Mr. Fry. I'm looking at 4-5 practice writing a function rule. And let's get going. I'm going to do all the odd ones. You try the even ones. If you make mistakes, no worries. Learn from them and you're making progress. Write a function rule that represents each sentence. 5 less than 1/4 of x is y. Here I have 1/4 of x, and then I have 5 less than that. Make sure that your minus 5 comes after that 1/4 of x. We can't have a 5 minus that because that wouldn't make sense. It's not 1/4 of x minus 5, or, less than 5, I should say. It's 5 less than 1/4 of x. So that's a little bit tricky. It doesn't matter which way you have your addition going for number 3. It does matter subtraction, because subtraction is not commutative. Division is not commutative, but multiplication and addition are, meaning that you could flip them and you would get the same result. Okay, number 3, P is 9 more than half of Q. P is means equals 9 more than half of Q. I could have wrote 9 plus half Q, but I wanted to stick true to my phrasing, and this is 9 more than half of Q, so I put my half of Q first. Once again, if you had it flipped, it is commutative, so it would give you the same answer. Number 5, 1.5 more than the quotient of A is and 4 is B. So I have the quotient of A and 4, and I have 1.5 more than that, and that equals B. Once again, if you have 1.5 plus A divided by 4, or the quotient of 4, A and 4 equals B, that would be fine also. And if you wrote A divided by 4, that's fine also. Write a function rule that represents each situation. Here we go. A babysitter's earnings, E, are a function of the number of hours worked at a rate of $7.25 an hour. So her earnings are going to equal 7.25 time per hour. So I could have used H there, but I used N. You could use any letter, but that kind of made sense. Okay. Oh, it told me to use N. I'm sorry. It told me to use N there, so I did use N. I was going to say, I think they're telling you which letters to use. Number 9, a plumber's fees, F, are $75 for a house call and $60 per hour for each hour worked. So $60 per hour plus, no matter what, that $75 house call is going to equal the fees. Okay, you could write it in a different order. That's fine. It'd still give you the same answer. I'm just writing it like this because you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of, this y equals mx plus b. This would actually be my slope. This would be my y-intercept, and this would be, my function. So that's why I'm writing it this way. For those of you that know slope-intercept form or remember it, of course you know it. Number 11, Jose is 3 years younger than 3 times his brother's age. Write a rule that represents Jose's age, J, as a function of his brother's age, B, how old is Jose if his brother is 5? So I have Jose's age is 3 years less than 3 times his brother's age. So 3 times his brother minus 3. So you have to have that minus 3 after. Remember, subtraction is not commutative. So then it tells you to plug in what if his brother is 5. So put in 5 there. So 3 times 5 is 15 minus 3. Jose has got to be 12. Number 13. Write a function rule for the area of a rectangle whose length is 4 inches more than its width. What is the area of the rectangle when its width is 8 inches? I like to draw to kind of bring it to life. So this is the length, this is the width, here's the width. We don't know the width, but we know the length is 4 more than that, so I have W plus 4. So what you're going to have here is A equals W plus 4 times W, because area for a rectangle is length times width. And now I know my length is W plus 4, so I just have W plus 4 times the W here. So in other words, What's its when its width is 8? What's the area? What's the area? Yeah, I have AE plus 4 that I have to do first in parentheses because that's the length, and then multiply that by 8, and you get 96 inches squared. For number 15, and hopefully you're pausing this as you go as needed. Write a function rule for the area of a triangle with a base 2 meters less than 4 times its height. What is the area of a triangle when its height is 8? So I have a drawing here also. And remember, the area of a triangle is half the base times the height. So the base is 2 meters less than 4 times the height. So you have to have that in that order. So my b is now going to be 4h minus 2, and I still have my h there. So I just plug that in, that my new b I plug in to the equation, and I use 8 for the height. So 4 times the height minus 2 times the height again, and half of all that gives me 120. For number 17, an open-ended, describe a real-world situation that represents a nonlinear function. Well, just, all the charts that I've been seeing on the exponential growth of COVID infections. That's something that's happening right now, current events, and that could be an answer. If you can think of anything else, look up anything else, that would be fine. Number 19, graph the ordered pairs on a coordinate plane. What I did is I just did it right here instead of grabbing a piece of graph paper. Just make sure your y goes up to 12 and your x values go for all in positive. And then you just plot those points. You can see where it's going. I figured, that it goes from 1 to 2, it goes up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. So a 2 over 1 is a slope of 2. And then I figured if I went back to where it crossed the y-axis to get the y-intercept up 2 over 1, that would be right here at 4. So my y-intercept is 4. So for b, write an equation that you could use to find y for any value x. Y equals 2x plus 4. So is the equation a function? Yes, it is, because for each input x, there is one corresponding output y. And it makes a line. So there you have it. Hopefully this helps, and good luck with those even ones.